got the kidding all put to the side. Welcome to OmnTV. I'm Bob Guest, the producer and host of this first half hour. And with me, over my shoulder, is a gentleman from the UK, goes by the name of Dave Hilborne. How you doing, Dave?
Hey there, Robert. How you doing?
Let's get right into this. Looking over your music and reading some of your bio, you stated that as far as music was concerned, you became interested in writing and performing, and that was back in 1987, I presume?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Well, who was your inspiration to start all that?
It's very, it's very, very difficult to sort of pinpoint, one particular moment or one particular artist. But I was very, very interested, I got very interested in the genre of music, which may not be familiar to you guys, called progressive rock here, which is like a fusion of rock music and classical music together. And that is what really inspired me to sort of like want to pick up a guitar in the first place, because I wanted to explore that area of music between those two genres. The combination of like classical composition but with something heavier mixed in as well. And those two things, I don't know, there was a level of excitement there which I'd never heard before. And it just sort of spurred me on. I wanted to be a part of that.
Well, the progressive rock that you're talking about, that would be something more like Pink Floyd.
Yeah, Pink Floyd, Genesis.
We know what that music is all about here. Your first band that you were was called
Vital Signs, yeah.
Vital something.
Vital Signs, yeah.
Vital Signs, that's it.
Yeah.
How long did that band stay in existence?
Well, there were several incarnations of Vital Signs. Vital Signs kicked off in about 1988, and it lasted in one form or other till about 93, 94. The culmination of all that work was a record, which I eventually got the funding for, which would be a song that I hope to be featuring later on in this particular broadcast, called
well, talking about
Silver.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but talking about funding, you had a play that you were working on, and I believe it was called Mask of the Red Death.
Yeah, based on the book, based on the short story by the American writer Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, that was something that I got in over my head. Not for the first time. I had a concept of like a 3-act opera, but with a very small miniature cast and what I thought would be a manageable budget, but it quickly became apparent that it wouldn't be possible to stage something like that with a very small budget, and not do it justice.
One of those live and learn things, huh?
Yeah.
Well, our first song for tonight is a song titled Halo.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Halo will always be incredibly close to my heart because it's a song that I wrote in about 5 minutes, or even less than 5 minutes. I woke up in the morning after I couldn't sleep, and I just came out, and it was still really, really dark in this room. I didn't even bother to turn the proper lights on. I just turned on the keyboard and just had the illumination display in front of me, and I just started playing chords and misplaced a finger and found a chord and then found another chord, and it just happened.
So you did this in 5 minutes?
I did this in 5 minutes.
Well, for you folks out there, here's a 5-minute workup on a song called Halo. Here's Dave Hilborne.
She's a devil. She knows to pray well, studies them well, invisible secret scars. They cling and etched to palm. How I wish this could end in tears or in rage. Give thanks for mercy, pray and kneel for mercy. Please stop me from breaking time. Please stop me from breaking time. Banished from memory, erased from your thoughts. I'm the stranger, I'm the hero. I know this game well, rehearsed it well. Secret and silent vows that never whispered aloud. And how I wish this could end here in tears or in rage. Give thanks for mercy, the quality of mercy. Please stop me from breaking tonight. Please stop me from breaking tonight.
Welcome back, Dave. Great song, Halo. Outstanding. Just look at the lights behind your head, how all that looks a little bit angelica or angelic. I'll get my mouth working, we'll be fine.
Angelica who's
No, it does not look like Angelica Houston, no. No, the next song that we have is called Follow. And what you wrote, as far as the title was concerned, that it was a piece that you wrote because you were inspired by some mountains in Missouri when you came here to visit. Can you elaborate?
I flew to the States in May 2012, and I was very fortunate to be taken by a very dear friend to a nature trail, and just walking along this, just what seemed to be just minutes from one of the busiest highways I'd ever seen in my life. Bear in mind that I come from the UK, and I'd never seen anything so busy. Just to leave that madness for a second and just wander a few seconds in one direction and be in this incredible stillness for a second was just absolutely mind-blowing. And I could almost, as I was walking through the this absolutely beautiful landscape. I was taking pictures as well, and it was just one of those occasions where I was just dying that I had a piano there just so I could play what I was watching and seeing and feeling. And the minute I got back to the UK, I just jumped on a piano, and I literally, again, I wrote this in about 5-10 minutes.
So you wrote quite a bit of your songs in about 5 or 10 minutes, didn't you?
Stuff comes out of me pretty fast.
Wow. Well, here's Follow. Enjoy. Dave, our next song that you'll be performing is called Fixed to the Spot. Would that be something to where just someone is basically standing in the spot?
Yeah, still, a moment of stillness, yeah. It emerged from a rather sad occasion where I saw a particular very close relative of mine at a very particular poignant point stood at a funeral, and just the shape of the person and how they were standing just moved me immensely, and I wanted to. I immediately came home and grabbed the guitar, and I just wanted to capture that moment in stillness, and it was a very beautiful moment for me because I felt incredibly emotional writing and singing it, and I think you can hear that in my voice as I'm singing the song.
You've got it. Let's back up a little bit. You've got that unique voice. I mean, you look at a book at its cover, and you expect one thing.
Yeah.
You look at you, and you have that voice that I really can't put my finger on. I get my teeth working, I'll be fine. Put my finger on because of the pitch that you use. I'm gonna ask you, where did you get that rendition from, or is that just something that comes out of you just automatically?
Well, my mother was a jazz singer, and my father was an opera singer. My father had the most amazing opera Pavarotti type of voice, and like I said, my mum was a jazz singer. And so I think, talk about I was born with the tools of the trade, if you like. But I think it's more a case of my influences, who I've been influenced by, has influenced my particular delivery, how I deliver a song. I've always been interested in a sort of a higher register anyway. I like the higher register, it sounds emotional.
It just hit me where I thought I heard that type of vocal. I don't know if you've ever heard the Jesus Christ Superstar rendition, where the lead singer basically has that type of vocal projection, if I can use that term. And until now, I was trying to figure. I knew I heard that kind of concept before. I just couldn't put my.
It's almost like it's almost like an English thing as well. There's a lot of English type of singers that sing in the way that I do. It's got a theatrical edge as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of my interest in theatre and things like that. So there's an operatic and a theatre and a dramatic edge to it as well.
Okay, well,
very difficult to put it into words, really.
Okay, well, here's Dave Hilborne doing Fixed to the Spot.
Fixed to the spot, the lines that draw her pained expression remain the same. No comforts gained from the bleeding heart, the poetess song remains unchanged. Fixed to the spot, the lines that draw her pained expression remain the same.
Now, Dave, now I can actually understand what you meant by fixed to the spot, and as far as whether it's a funeral or a church or something else that's may not even be anything else but great song. Short. It's basically a little over 2 minutes worth of a song.
I just wanted to capture that moment.
Well, you did.
Any moment longer and it's gone, but just like that.
It was short and it hit the spot.
Thank you.
The next song that we've got on the list that you'll be performing is called Tora's Ghost. And I'm going to read what you wrote to lead into the song, and then you can give me your explanation of why you said that for the song itself. You wrote, the song was described as more skeletons rattling around the closet.
Well, what songwriters normally do, Robert, is, as anybody would know, I think, anyone that's a songwriter would know, is that songs can take on not just an entertainment value for people, but also can be a cathartic value to people and almost become like diary entries. So I wanted to catalogue a particular time of my life that I was going through in a song. Hence, the more skeletoning around in the closet. We've all got our things in our heads that are going around, and I just wanted to sort of get it out and dust it off for a bit and put it into a song. That's about as much as I can say really without going into massive detail.
Well, we don't want to get into any massive details because things might be said that may not want to have been said when it comes to skeletons and closets.
Or
So-
being in the car.
Well, here's Dave Hilborne, Tourist Ghost.
Hiding out, crooking up, I couldn't tell you where I've been these last years. Hiding out from the crowd, always found the same face. It's always your fault. I feel so ashamed to keep running from these ghosts, these toast doors. You walk the line. You walk the line. I sit out, refuse to play. I was never born for your mind games or your croquet. Press to play. I sing the note with your name, with my heart out, my heart out. I feel so ashamed to keep running from these ghosts, these tourist ghosts. I feel so ashamed to keep running from these ghosts, these tourist ghosts. You walk the line.
Great spirited song there, Dave. I like that Tourist Ghost. One of your longer ones, if I could say that.
If
You don't
you
have
want
you don't have
long,
very many long songs. Your songs are pretty much on the short side and to the point and what have you. And this the one that just got done was about 3.5 minutes worth, which was great to sit down and listen to, as far as that part's concerned. The next song that we have on the list is called "Food for Thought," and if I'm not mistaken, it has to deal with abuse of some shape or form. Can you
Yeah.
elaborate?
Yeah, not necessarily the physical type of abuse, but maybe more geared to sort of emotional, more controlling type of abuse. There's probably a few of us out there that maybe know a married couple that maybe there's something going on behind that sort of happy facade, and sometimes for some reason or another we don't always pick up the signals, and if we'd maybe known beforehand, then maybe we could have intervened and done something about it. This isn't from any sort of personal experience, by the way. This is just my mind sort of thinking into a scenario as I was writing the piece of music. But I just thought that would be an interesting idea for a song.
Well,
And I tried to play it out in music.
well, generally speaking, when someone writes anything as far as a song is concerned, they pretty much know firsthand the situation, and that's how they're able to write the song. So you're saying that you haven't had that personally, but
Yeah, I tried. Sometimes what I like to do with songs, Robert, is I like to play a character, if you like. I like to put myself in a particular mindset, and if I can put myself in that mindset, then I can play that out within the song, and then that would then bring something out of me, out of my performance, into a song. Right? I don't want to sound terribly English and pretentious, but at the essence, I'm playing.
well, I will say, Dave, you did a great job on this song that's coming up. So here's Dave Hilborne, Food for Thought.
No food for thought. Baby, she'll starve. Cold comfort sobs. Blast from her past, she can hardly believe it. Why am I told? Maybe she'll call. Black or white. Isn't always right. We take center stage. Are you laughing now as we take our bows? This is only pretense, but it's tearing me apart. You can turn on the charm, but it's only a mask. I can still sense the stench of all the lies. No food for thought. Or maybe she'll starve. Cold comfort songs. A blast from her past. She can hardly believe it. Believe it. She can hardly believe it. Believe it.
Welcome back. You see Dave over my shoulder. Great job, Dave. Food for thought should be a thought for pretty much anybody that's out there that know of people that are in that kind of a situation in some shape or form to where they can actually help. And it was beautifully done.
Thank you.
The next song is your final song, by the way. It's called Wrapped in Silver. Now, when I first heard that song, or started to listen to that song, the only thing that was coming to mind because of the title was one of two things. Whether it was going to be a Christmas song that I probably could have used at a later date, especially around in December, or someone that got born into a family of wealth where the silver comes in, you know, as far as the silver spoon is concerned. But I'm going to ask you exactly what the title actually means to you.
Well, I think what it is we have a preconceived idea in society sometimes that things that are shiny, like this coin, for example, represent value and things of worth, when in fact this is a chocolate coin, and it's just purely the aesthetic that looks appealing and attractive to us. The basis of the song is that not everything in fancy packaging is what we immediately think it is. There could be something much darker in a package lurking underneath the exterior.
Wow, that,
Pretty dark, eh?
well, it depends on if you like chocolate or not. So, I mean, here's Dave Hilborne performing Wrapped in Silver.
Not a stranger, just a relic from your memory. I served my purpose, then you found you had no use for me. Just a stone wrapped in silver, a hopeless dream. Just as worthless as my face, would you wipe your shoes? Do you expect a money wrapped in money, or a union draped in gold, suffocating your secrets, pray always never told. I was never told. I'm not dangerous, it's just the way I get perceived. And I'm not ignorant, despite what you would have the world believe. Just a stone wrapped in silver, a hopeless dream. And just as worthless as my face, would you wipe your shoes? Did you expect an illusion? Cross with a coloring star, to fact and fiction, the truth starts to unwind. The truth starts to unwind.
Well, welcome back. I want to say, Dave, it's been a great half hour plus talking with you.
Likewise, thank you.
One of the questions I'm going to want you to answer, if possible, is what's your future plans, your website, in case anybody wishes to go see any of your material, anybody in particular that you want to say hi to, and me personally, and as far as OMN-TV, we wish to thank you for partaking in this week's show.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. As far as my websites go, there's two places online where you can hear what I do. One is Vandalism, which you can find me just under my regular name of Dave Hilborne.
And Vandalism is actually part of Facebook, if those who do not know.
And if you go into YouTube and you type in Splicer 45, that's Splicer 45, you come up to my webpage there, and it's a combination of like video game walkthroughs, but you can basically find my entire back catalogue on there as well, and that's freely available to download. Take anything you like, it's fine.
Okay, well, who would you like to say hi to?
I've got a couple of key people that I literally couldn't sit here and talk to you without, and those are my dear friends Erin and my dear friend Christina. They're my two greatest supporters. I couldn't do this without them. And obviously, I've got the wonderful support of friends and family as well.
How about your sister? Don't forget your sister.
Can't forget Louise. I mean, I don't think I would have started on this journey without my sister at my side. So that's another one, yeah, for sure.
Well, we had the opportunity.
As plans for the future.
Well, we had the opportunity of seeing your sister earlier, if you remember correctly, and we hope sometime down the road to be able to bring her in, like we just brought you in.
That would be absolutely marvelous. I'll be glued.
So, what's your future endeavors looking like?
As for my own future endeavors, it'd be lovely to do some more things with my sister, but for myself, I'm like a hoarder of pieces of music. I hoard pieces of music, maybe for months, and then I'll collect them into I'll put them into little orders, and then something will come out of it.
Well, they have programs that take care of that problem,
Absolutely. I've got, my brain is spinning with so many things. I have to apologise for not being much of a talker. I'm more of a doer. I'd rather put something in front of someone and say, there it is, than talk about it months down the line.
Well, you sure shocked me, because you did most of the talking. So, well, at this stage of the game, we now have to basically get into the second, whatever's left over from the second half, to get in with that part of the show. Again, I want to say thank you to Dave, and have a great night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. We were doing fine.
Until I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, Cafe Ole?
The Cafe Ole.
It wasn't Cafe Ole, it was Cafe what?
With Bailey's.
Stop!
Well, welcome back to what's left of the second half of OMN-TV. Now I'm your co-host with my other co-host, Ron Gagnon.
That was after take 90?
After take 90, basically. My cafe with some Baileys in it.
I need another sip.
We want to thank Dave Hilborne for his first half-hour plus interview that we were allowed to have with him all the way to the UK via Skype. And thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
We'll try to get to your sister sometime in the near future.
Absolutely.
So we're going to open up what's left of the second half with a gentleman by the name of
Bob Gifford.
And this gentleman, I don't want to say he's a one-armed bandit, because he's not. He has a physical disability due to an earlier physical ailment that he accrued. But he's able to play some outstanding guitar work with that disability.
Absolutely. He did not let it stop him, for sure. So you folks watch this and watch Bob play, and you will be amazed what this man can do with one hand. Okay, he's going to be playing his guitar and doing a song, Jamming with Blues.
So here's Bob Gifford, jamming with blues.
Yes. I'll tell you what, it just astounds me that people who have disabilities like Bob does can not let it get them down, but they can continue to do what they do.
He does better than a lot of people that we know that can play guitar.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
no doubt about it.
and
Great job, Bob. Great job.
outstanding. Well, our last song of the night is a young man that I know personally. I've actually performed a side of him locally at one of the taverns. But this gentleman has a unique voice that first time I heard him, my jaw just went down to my knees. Because when you look at him and then you hear that voice going from where you think is going to be right about here, but it's here. So
he does have a fantastic voice.
he's got that outstanding voice that is very soulful. But the song that you're going to be listening to is about 13 minutes in length, and we do have to put a label on it for those who may not want to deal with adult content.
Such as parental guidance. Yes.
And there's vulgar language in there, some of it very abrupt, and there is some violence in there. It's basically Goodfellas meet the Twilight Saga combination. So we're going to leave that up to you at this stage of the game. This is why we put the song at the end. So
Yes.
here's Colin Marrero.
And indestructible.
Enjoy.
I'm like, thank you. I made. Did you? Wait, did you frequent it yourself? Yeah, it took me like 8 hours. Wow, that's awesome. It looks really great. I'm not. I shouldn't.
We sent them out fucking a month ago. They're supposed to be here by now, and I'm tired of fucking waiting.
What are you gonna do if they don't get back here in time?
Oh, I'm gonna fix their ass. I'm gonna fuck them up.
Hey, sweet cheeks. Get to work with your boss.
He's not around at the moment. But if you need me to help you out, the show's about to start in 15 minutes.
As much as I love your company, I gotta take care of some stuff. There's a little extra for you and the ladies.
You know, I think I saw him out in the back having a cig. Follow the hallway, down to the left, and out the rear door. My room's on the right.
Gentlemen, how can I help you this evening?
You know, your gals, for the most part, they've been good to us. You, on the other hand, owe us a little bit of dough.
I owe you nothing.
What's that?
I owe you nothing.
Seems our little boy here is a businessman after all. Why don't we hit the road?
Young, I learned that all things in life are possible. Time goes by and makes it all feel impossible. So I sing and fight and I dream and I pray that I will not fall, 'cause I wanna be indestructible. You cannot fly unless you pick your feet up off the ground. You can't be heard unless you speak high above the crowd. Learn not to doubt, fear of yourself is not allowed, 'cause you wanna be indestructible. To hell with what people wanna say. They're gonna push you down anyway. Get back up and fight another day, 'cause you wanna be indestructible. Indestructible, 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 indestructible. Time after time you have to turn your back and walk away. Be true to you so you can wake up, face another day. Be strong, be tough, and be fierce, and know everything's gonna be okay. Cause you're gonna be indestructible. I know what I'm to be, but I find it so hard to breathe. Gotta fight for my destiny. I gotta be who I am, who I'm supposed to be. To hell with what people wanna say. They're gonna push you down anyway. Get back up and fight another day. Cause you wanna be indestructible. It's so hard to breathe, breathe, breathe. I can barely breathe, breathe. Fighting for my destiny. Breathe. Gotta be who I'm supposed to be. I'm indestructible, 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 indestructible. I'm indestructible, indestructible.
I can barely breathe cause I'm drowning in the water. But the longer I stay under it, the more that I get stronger. And there's sharks all around me, hoping I don't come up. So I break this water surface, smile and say that it's all love. I'm indestructible, so nothing's gonna hold me back. Yeah, I fought hard, but that was all in the past. Now I'm standing on the stage, staring at the crowd, just doing me with the music up loud, singing.
Breathe, breathe, breathe. I can barely breathe, breathe. Fighting for my destiny. Breathe. Gotta be who I'm supposed to be. I'm indestructible, 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 indestructible. It's so hard to breathe, breathe, breathe. I can barely breathe, breathe. Fighting for my destiny. Breathe. Gotta be who I'm supposed to be. I'm indestructible, 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 indestructible.
indestructible, 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 indestructible. It's so hard to breathe, breathe, breathe. I can barely breathe, breathe. Fighting for my destiny, breathe. Gotta be who I'm supposed to be. I'm indestructible, 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 indestructible.
Well, we're back. We're now at the end of the show. We want to thank David for his interview. We want to thank
Bob Gifford,
and we definitely want to thank Colin Marrero for his unique voice and his musical video. We'll put it that way.
We didn't mention real quick too that Colin is from Connecticut.
He is from Connecticut.
Yes.
He's not living in New York though, but we won't hold that against him.
Right.
So we want to thank you, our audience, for those who stopped by to listen to the program, and hope that we didn't offend anybody with as far as for this show is concerned. So from Ron and myself to all of you out there, have a great night and a safe week.
God bless.